I left the thrift store with a new life goal. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I always make a beeline for this basket because it always has something different and pretty in it. And this time it was this oversized doily. It is crocheted from worsted weight kitchen cotton. It is beautiful. The texture is amazing. And of course, I did not want to spend $1.99 to bring it home with me. Somehow that thought never even crossed my mind because all I could think was, oh my gosh, I am more determined than ever to learn to crochet because I want to make something like that. I should have bought it. I do not have time to drive back to the store in hopes that it is still there. That was a mistake. The theme of this video is also use your phone. They had this Moda Charm pack for $2.99, which isn't an amazing deal compared to quilt shops. It's inexpensive. And I actually looked up the collection and determined that it's too Christmassy for my taste. I don't need that. I fell in love with this quilt pattern. Was absolutely going 100% going to bring it home with me. Thank goodness I saw the tag that it is designed for machine embroidery because I don't have an embroidery machine. I would have been so disappointed. Here's a dimensions kit, unopened, can a cross stitch. I love pairs of birds. I think maybe this is a wedding sampler, but I just want it for the birds. So I set it aside to take a closer look at after I had flipped through everything in the basket. That tends to be what works well for me, is to look through everything, pull out the things I am intrigued by, and then carefully look at them one at a time. Most days there isn't more than one or two things that catch my interest that are even worth a second glance. But sometimes I get lucky. Thought it was waste canvas, but that's fiddler cloth or something that looks like fiddler cloth. Geese. I'm still not a fan of geese most of the time. Now and then I will find the goose that melts my heart because I'm silly like that. This is Christmas plaid, and it was intriguing. I'd love to see what that was designed for or what patterns they designed to stitch on that. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I took a closer look at that dimensions kit, and it's linen and not very pleasant to stitch on looking linen at that. But I love pairs of birds and I love the folk art aspect of it, and it came home with me. They had some yarn. I am on the lookout for yarn for shawls for the quilt group because the Hobby Lobby clearance sale this year was an absolute bust for me. $1.99 a skein, pretty colors, but wow, that stuff was scratchy. Take a look at this basket. I think that would be great for displaying stitch smalls in. I don't have a good spot. Well, first of all, I don't have a lot of smalls to display. And second of all, I don't have the perfect table to put it on. I'll stitch the smalls and then I'll get the basket or the dough bowl or whatever. I almost didn't notice the Janlin logo. It caught my attention out of the corner of my eye, or I would have walked by all of these pre-stamped kits. These are quilt squares for stitching, and they come 6 to a package. Every package was different, so there was not enough here to make a quilt. I didn't check to see if 2 of them could be spliced together with different blocks. Or I suppose you could piece blocks and intermix them. Look at the baby quilt top and that stork. That caught my imagination. I find these now and then, but I have never seen so many at the same thrift store at the same time. And I have some at home. I'm not in a hurry to stitch them anytime soon. I do not need any of these. But that stork really caught my imagination because he looks an awful lot like a character I remember from an old Bugs Bunny cartoon. Or maybe I'm misremembering, but those glasses and that hat. And he's reading to the little animals, and it's just the cutest little thing. And unlike the baby quilts I have at home already, that one isn't pre-quilted. So you could stitch it, then layer it with background fabric, then put it together however you wanted. I did convince myself to walk away from it because I don't need another baby. Of course, once you find a little bit of stitching, you start looking for more stitching. And I don't think I've ever seen Daisy Kingdom cross stitch before. They're by Busilla. There were a couple of different stocking kits. And then there was a mystery rubber banded together stack of partially finished kits. I took a look at them and they were all baby samplers. I would say that partially finished baby samplers are sad, but the one and only baby sampler I tried to stitch met the same fate, so I'm not one to talk. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I'll be back with you soon.